I'm doing. I'm not ready. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No way. We are officially live. We still have 2 minutes before we're starting, but we were all sitting here waiting. So
We're pandering.
We might as well go live and get it started. Hold on one second. There we go. All right. So hope everyone's doing all right. Hope everyone had a nice Friday night. I had a solid NBA night, 4-2, made a few dollars, always nice. Probably the most loaded college basketball slate of the year. I mean, we have 20 games lined up for this one, and they're all good. We're just waiting one more minute for the people that actually were waiting till 10:30 to come on. Well, I don't want to start until then.
Absolutely.
The poll I ran was number of Monster energy drinks consumed by Toast this morning. 80% you said over 1.5.
Oh, yeah, that's number 2.
There you go.
Already?
Dude, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Not to mention, since we have time, I had like a teenager, my kid last night, was trying to fight in hockey, texting people, telling he's going to put him in a headlock. Just an absolute shit show in my house last night. Let me tell you that right
Wait,
now.
hold on. He texted somebody and said, I'm going to put you in a headlock?
Yes, and then the kid told him to shut up, and he said, I'll put you in a headlock, too. I can't take it.
All right.
I cannot take these fucking 12-year-olds, dude.
All right, it's 10:30. It is 10:30. We can start. And we're starting in the Big East. Villanova at Providence. You can see Andy is mobile. Andy's down at Georgia. He's going to be at the Georgia-Texas A&M game later this afternoon. So that's why he's down there. We're starting with Villanova at Providence. Andy, would you take the 2.5 points with Villanova on the road here?
No, I took Providence, the home team. There's a pretty big difference between these teams, the defenses. I mean, I really like Providence here. I don't know about Villanova. I'm completely against them on the road. Pretty much recently on the road this season, I'm pretty much against them. And Providence at home, I thought the number was pretty short enough for me to take a shot here with Providence. Plus, Providence is coming off a pretty good game, so I like them.
That's the way I was leaning as well. Scoop?
Yeah, I don't think Nova's going to complete the sweep here. I like Providence on their home court. I think they bounce back big time after getting rolled by Marquette. Villanova doesn't have issues on defense. They can't shoot well. But Providence is the same way. They struggle on the offensive side of the board. On the ball has problems putting the ball in the basket. But, yeah, I really like Providence at home. They've had big wins here. They've beaten Marquette, Wisconsin, Butler, Creighton. All of them teams are better than Villanova. I think Aduro comes out strong down low. Even though they're not a solid offensive rebounding team, he could definitely create second chances against a kind of weak Nova defense. Front court. He's the best big man in the game, and they should use him frequently to have a scoring advantage here. Plus, lately, Villanova's been really turning the ball over a lot, especially on the road. Also, in case you care, on Joe Lenardi's board, Providence is the last team in the tournament. They really need this game in a big way before going to Georgetown, probably beating them, and then they're home against UConn at the end of the season. So, give me Providence.
2 picks for Providence. Toast?
Yeah, I didn't bet this game. I would actually lean the Villanova with the points. I don't disagree, obviously, with any of those things that those guys said, but my only pushback with Nova is since essentially that loss to Marquette at home after the double overtime fiasco to Butler, they've played pretty well. They lost to UConn on the road and then Xavier on the road as well. So obviously that's not a good point for me. But my point is that I'm at the same point where I'm not sure what I feel like with this Providence team. I understand that they've been playing well, but I don't know if I don't know. I understand that they're at home. I understand they don't lose at home, but I do feel like this Villanova team's getting a little bit disrespected here. So I think this is going to be a close game. I think I like the under a little bit more if I had to play it, but if I had to for the show, I'm definitely taking the points here.
Someone said fading Scoop has been paying the bills,
Which isn't true at all.
Yeah,
I've been on a fucking tear.
His last four shows, he's hitting like 80% or some shit.
We actually did really well on yesterday's show. The only games that lost.
Oh, I know.
That we really liked.
Yeah, and the only game I bet, I think I lost, and then I went back. I was like, did we get crushed? And I scrolled through the show. I was like, shit, we killed it.
Yeah.
I just wasn't paying attention because I was watching NBA. Yeah. But yeah, so poll is leaning Providence, but not overwhelmingly. There's a lot of people betting Villanova out there. It's 48%, 39%. So community, Providence wins the poll, but slightly. Let's move on to game number 2. All right. I got Andy up first for this one because we're talking SEC. We got Florida on the road, play South Carolina. Short line here, South Carolina laying a point. Andy, I kind of like Florida here. What do you think?
I couldn't believe it when I saw this line. I mean, I think Florida's a far better team. They're more consistent, I will say. South Carolina's had trouble with a lot of good teams they've played as of late. I think Florida's rebounding advantage in this one's going to be huge. I mean, they're way bigger than South Carolina. So I think this one, not ugly, but I can't believe I'm getting the better team on the road. +2. I want Florida very badly.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it up for me, too. I agree with you. I'm on Florida here. I think they are the better team, and I think maybe if this game was being played in early January, South Carolina was playing a little differently, but the last couple weeks, South Carolina really hasn't looked the same. So I'm on Florida as well. Toast? You're muted.
Muted. He doesn't know it either.
Muted.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, I'm on Florida as well. I don't love it, but I really hate betting Todd Golden on the road. But the fact of the matter is this Florida team, after taking that A&M loss, has played really good basketball. Their only loss since then was on the road at Alabama, and that was an overtime loss, and they were in that game the whole time. So other wins on the road against Kentucky. I mean, so they played a decent game against Tennessee. They ended up getting blown out later, but I just feel like this South Carolina team I don't really trust. So I'll let Scoop come on and tell you why South Carolina is going to win, because I know that
Scoop's on South Carolina.
Oh, I guarantee you, I would bet my life on it. So,
no, I think
I'll
he's
take my 2 points with Florida.
You're not taking South Carolina here, are you?
You guys just love snipping the head off the cocks, man. This team is a treasure to watch. You can see them in a lull, man, and then bam, 6 to midnight in a matter of seconds. Listen, the Gamecocks are 10-3 against the spread in the SEC. They're 15-7 against the spread following a win. They're the 4th best against the spread team in the country. South Carolina's defense is going to stand up like they always do. The Gators have a solid rebounding team, but South Carolina does a great job at limiting opponents' rebounds. I'm not saying they're going to win the rebound battle here, but it'll be closer than Florida's used to getting. Yeah, and I love that South Carolina is the home team here. The Cox have Vic, BJ, Mack down low, but also Murray Boyles can swing it down low, picking up those boards and contesting shots. South Carolina doesn't have the best offense, but Michi can penetrate the hole really well when there's a gap. So I expect them to get his points today. All in all, I'm just not fading this team. It feels like they shouldn't win, but they keep doing it, so give me the Cox.
That's why I'm so hesitant. I 100% agree with that, Scoop.
No, Florida's the move here. Scoop is just blindly taking South Carolina because it's a running joke at this point.
No, they've been cashing. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they were cashing early in the year.
They're not. They just cashed 3 in a row.
3 in a row? I thought it was.
Mostly all season, 19-8.
No, I know early in the season they were like automatic, but I'm saying the last 3 weeks they haven't been automatic.
7-3 their last 10.
They just won their last 2.
7-3 their last 10 ATS.
Well, they're losing this one. Florida +2. Our poll is leaning towards Florida, but not overwhelmingly. Another one where the community seems kind of split. It's 54%, 40% in favor of Florida. So there are a lot of people out there that agree with Scoop. All right, Illinois at Wisconsin. Scoop's up first. Big Ten. Let's clear the board, get the poll running. Illinois catching 3 points on the road in Madison here. This line doesn't. I mean, I guess the home away splits for Wisconsin are pretty significant. I personally am not a big fan of this Illinois team, but I know a lot of people like them. What would you do here, Scoop?
No, I'm just completely done with this Wisconsin team. I'm more fading them than taking Illinois. This garbage ass team can't even beat Indiana. They lost 6 of their last 8. They don't look competent in anything. Sure, they're home, but you're giving me points to Illinois right now. I like them. I think they're going to outscore them and outplay them. This is like the line we had the other day. I think it was Minnesota and Ohio State, which is a really weird line. Someone bet their house on Minnesota. I feel like this is the same here. I don't think how is Wisconsin going to stop Illinois from hoisting up threes and hitting their threes. We have one of the best 3-point teams against one of the worst at defending them. I like Illinois in transition as well. They can really crash the boards on either side. I don't see any reason to pick Wisconsin.
Toast, do you agree Illinois +3? I'm kind of leaning that way, to be honest.
No, I gave this out last night. I like Wisconsin.
You're laying it with Wisconsin.
Wisconsin -2.5. I don't care that it's 3 now. Look, this Wisconsin team, you can say whatever you want about what they've done, but at home, they've played just fine. Their only loss only losses against Purdue and at home, and there's only 2 losses total. The other one was against Tennessee early on in the year. So at home, they play much better. So I understand that they haven't looked good on the road, but when they've been at home, they've had no issues here. So I have no problem doing that. Illinois hasn't been a fantastic road team either. I mean, they've lost to teams like Penn State, Northwestern, Michigan State. So I think this is a must-have game for Wisconsin at home. So I have no problem laying 2.5.
I don't like that pick, Toast. I do not like it. Andy?
Yeah, I'm on Illinois too. I think there's no right now. I use the last 10 game splits because that's what we've been using for the videos yesterday when I was looking, and there's just no redeeming quality about Wisconsin. I mean, in the thing that I pulled out the best is Illinois is 49th in EFG in the last 10 games on offense. Wisconsin's 241st, and that's better than what Wisconsin's offense is. So they have been terrible pretty much overall. But they've been okay in some of those games, but I think Illinois is more toward the tier of Tennessee and Purdue than they are all the other teams they played at home. So I think Illinois here.
Of those 10 games, 4 were at home.
Someone said Toast Island feeds families. The last couple weeks it has, but
this is true.
Early in the season, Toast Island was a sad and desolate place.
Yeah.
So I'm on Illinois too. If this is a pick'em, I probably would side with Toast, but a full 3 in a Big Ten battle, that pushes me over. I'll go Illinois here. I don't think I actually bet this one, but I think Illinois plus 3 would be the side to be on.
Bet this last night, boys. Book it.
Book it, he says. The poll, Illinois wins the poll, but slightly. So 3 games where the community's kind of split, 45%, 42%. So really no decisive sides yet, but we'll get there. Next. Kansas on the road at Baylor. Baylor laying 6 points here. Just wild.
It's up to 6. Oh.
Yo, what was that? Judging by Toast's reaction, that means he's on Baylor, but he's hating the line movement. And if I had to guess, he bet it last night at like 4. Am I right?
Yeah, we're good. So, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I'm on Baylor. Obviously, I also did Baylor Washington State moneyline parlay at plus 100. So I just don't understand why we even have to talk about it too much. I mean, Kansas on their own has been a pure fade for a while now. I understand that McCullers might be back, but Kansas doesn't have anything to play for. I understand both of these teams.
What do you mean? What do you mean Kansas doesn't have anything to play for?
Both of these teams are securely in the tournament. I mean, what is Kansas playing for right now? Honestly, I mean, besides getting something, would you rather have this win or McCullers healthy and all that stuff? So I think that they want McCullers healthy. I think that's what they're dealing with. I don't know if he's going to play tonight, but I'll take my chances with this Baylor team at home right now, who's playing some of their best basketball and they have of the year. So with revenge on their mind, keep in mind that Kansas kicked this team in the mouth and then they almost came back in the fog and beat it, ended up losing by 3. I think Baylor gets their revenge tonight.
I think Andy's on Baylor too by the sound of it.
Yeah, he pretty much took it all there. I do agree with him too. I don't think Kansas needs it that badly. I think down the stretch you'll see some of these top teams kind of want to have their guys 100% for their conference tournaments. I don't think Baylor's that type of team. Baylor's defense might be awful, but Kansas's offense on the road is just as bad. So I think that makes up for it. So yeah, I think Baylor should win this one.
Damn. Solid. 2 picks for Baylor. Someone said Andy's such a square, I have to start calling him SpongeBob.
That's not even true. Andy's been pretty solid. What you been doing?
SpongeBob. Scoop.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baylor here, too.
Come on!
Because of McCullers' status, even if he is playing, he's not going to be the same in this game. He's probably going to be on a limits restriction. That's going to put more of an emphasis on Dickinson, who's been beat up himself throughout the year. And this is Baylor's payback from earlier in the season. Baylor's a way better team at home. You're not going to see the 61 points they had from earlier this year at Kansas. Baylor's still the second best three-pointing shooting in the nation. Dennis and Jacoby Walter has been extremely solid for them all year. Missy should have a great game like he did last time at Kansas. They're great with their depth, something that Kansas doesn't have. They're one of the worst bench teams, and if McCullers out, Timberlake has shot awful and isn't a good replacement right now. And all in all, Kansas is a bad away team. And And even if Langston Love doesn't play, I think they have way more than enough pieces to pull us out and beat the spread.
It's fine. I'll jump on an island. I'll jump on the Jayhawks island. Six now? No way. I'm taking Kansas, and look, I know they're terrible on the road, and I get the reasoning for Baylor, but we're talking about 6 points now. 6. It's a significant line. It's a lot of key numbers there in a conference college basketball game. I'm on the Jayhawks. I'll take the points. Won't take the money line, but I'll take the points, and I'll be on my own island. Poll there is on Baylor. 55%, 38% on Baylor. So community likes Baylor. All three of these guys like Baylor. I'm taking Kansas by myself. All right, Big 12 up next. Toast with his favorite basketball team, the Texas Longhorns. Texas laying 10 points at home here. Oklahoma State plus 10. Texas minus 10. Pass. Poll is officially running. Toast, what do you think?
Pass.
You can't pass.
Oh.
There's a gun to your head. Someone's forcing you to pick a side against the spread here.
Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, then. I don't like this Texas team. I don't really care. I tried to get behind them. I think that win on the road at Texas Tech, they're coming in for a little bit of some regression coming their way. Not to mention they have Baylor on deck. So I'll take the points with Oklahoma State and fade that Rodney Terry meth-looking motherfucker.
What?
No, there's an explanation behind that. He looks like the guy from he looks like Gus Fring.
I am on Oklahoma State as well. You chose correctly. Mike Gundy always just turns things around at the close of the season. And
That too.
Oklahoma State. Scoop.
No, okay. State let me down. I let them into my heart, and they had that loss against UCF at home. Texas really had that dominant win against Texas Tech that me and Kyle had. I'm taking Texas here. I feel like they're going to lose out the season. They have Texas and Texas Tech and BYU. I know Texas hasn't won 2 in a row since January, but now's the time for that. Disu's become a better scoring option than Adams right now. He's been tearing it up lately. Plus, OK State only won 1 game away game all season at Cincy. Adams and Hunter should keep small under wraps. Both are better guards than him. And really, if that happens, it's hard to find another scoring option for OK State. I just find it hard to see how Oklahoma State's going to stop this team. So I will lay the 10 now on the at home.
9.5, 10. Andy?
Yeah, I'm oh my God, I'm laying it with Texas too. I think I don't like this Oklahoma State team. I've been clear about it all year. I think their run they had in the middle of there was just based on the opponents they were playing, and I thought they had a hot streak. I think that's over. They went on the road to UCF. I think a 6-point loss? I think it'll be pretty ugly today. I think that was more. I don't think Texas will be let down. I think it's more they got a lot of momentum, and I think they're going to carry that now into the Big 12 tournament. They needed that. This is the type of team they expected to be.
Little pushback on that, Andy. After that Kansas loss for Oklahoma State, they had a 4-point loss to Oklahoma. They beat BYU. They beat Cincinnati. And another 2-point loss to Oklahoma and a 6-point loss to UCF. Ain't nobody beating this team by double digits.
Yeah, for real. What are you talking about? Oklahoma State's a problem right now.
Oklahoma State sucks.
It's a problem that can't be solved.
Oklahoma State sucks.
They just
Good.
Central Florida at home.
Good late 10 points with Texas because that's usually a profitable endeavor.
Yeah, Max Ace
will be
has been
today.
fantastic all year.
37%.
8-point performance.
Oklahoma
I'm
State.
40. I'm a man.
Oklahoma State wins the ball. Yeah,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Well,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Mike Gundy, just absolute legend. All right, Toast, we are into the Pac-12, an early Pac-12 game. This is a 2 p.m. By the way, I added the start times at the top of the screen there. So this is a 2 p.m. Eastern time, early for a Pac-12 game. Do these folks even know how to play at this time, Toast?
I'm not sure. I don't know if there will be anybody in the arena to watch this game.
This is 11 a.m. in Arizona, right?
It'd be noon, I think. I could be wrong, though. I'm not sure.
They don't have
if it's 11 a.m. my time, it's noon their time. But, yeah. Anyway, I think Arizona rolls here. Not in love with this Arizona team particularly, but after what I saw after that loss to Washington State, staying at home, this Oregon team I don't really like on the road. I don't really like in general. And coming off a win against Oregon State, they lost by 5 to Cal on the road before that. And before playing that game, They played Stanford, Oregon State, and UCLA. All those teams significantly worse than Arizona. So I truly think that Arizona rolls here today.
Yeah, I'm going Arizona as well. I'm putting it up for myself. The weird start time, too. I don't think I'm actually going to bet this in like 13.5 points, but I watched, I forget which game it was. I watched the Oregon game recently. I am not impressed by that team at all. So it would only be Arizona for me. Let's bring up Andy.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think the big thing about Oregon is they can outrun a lot of teams. They're very athletic, but they rely on their jump shooters a lot, and now they're playing a very good defensive team. So I don't see them hitting shots on the road early. I don't really see a spot here for Oregon.
So you're also in Arizona. Someone said someone's there in Arizona. It's a noon game in Arizona. So Tosa's right.
Yeah, there's no daylight savings there. So yeah, an early Pac-12 game for once. Arizona won in Oregon by 9 on the road.
There was daylight savings last night, right?
I don't know.
I don't know when that is, to be honest. I thought they were getting rid of that. Like, what happened to that?
Definitely not.
I woke up at like 6:30. I was wondering why I woke up. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. Pac-12 had a down year. Only 2 teams are probably going to the tournament, barring Arizona or Washington State not winning their conference title. Oregon really needs to win a game like this, but I don't think it's going to come close. Arizona's going to cover here. Oregon already lost to UCLA, Utah, Colorado, Cal on the road, which is all worse teams than Arizona. Arizona's only loss was that Washington State game, but I find it hard to see how Oregon keeps up with them. Dante is Oregon's best player, but Ball in Arizona should easily win that matchup down low. He's stronger and bigger than him. Plus, Oregon has an awful perimeter defense, as you saw last time Caleb Love played Oregon, dropping around 40. Arizona's still going to be a number 1 seed in this tournament. They're better on both ends of the court, so I'm going to lay the 13.5.
And one other point that I forgot to make that Scoop made me think of is that when they played Oregon the last time, they only had 1 day of prep. They played Oregon State on the 25th, and then they played Oregon on the 27th. So doing that, beating them easily on their home court with 1 day of prep, now back at home, I think they roll.
So community definitely on Arizona. So apparently daylight savings time is next weekend. Here's the thing: is every device in my house is Bluetooth connected to the internet, so I don't even notice when it's daylight savings because my clocks auto update. It's different than it used to be. I remember I used to have to go back in the day. You had to go change all the clocks. Not anymore. 54%, 24% in favor of Arizona. Let's move on to the next one.
Do you just see Sauce moving around his house, changing all of his...
No, like I was talking about when I was a kid. Like the clocks in my parents' house growing up. Like you used to have to go change them.
Oh, I know, but I can just see you getting mad. I got stuff to do.
Oh, no, yeah. If it was up to me, they would just stay. They wouldn't even touch them. We got a good one here. Marquette on the road at Creighton. 4.5. So we got an injury here for Marquette.
6.5 now.
Yeah, it's
6.5 because of the injury, right? Hold on. So when I made these graphics, it was 4.5 a few hours ago. It's at 6.5 now because of the injury to
Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So
no Tyler Kolek today.
So I'm rerunning the poll at 6.5 with the updated line. So what do you guys think, Creighton?
Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I had Creighton before the injury. The injury kind of just nailed it in. I think they're going to out-rebound them. I think they're going to crush them in every way. Marquette's coming off scoring, 90 points or something like that against Providence. I don't think this will be pretty for them. Creighton pretty heavily. It was 5.5, I think, when I did the picks, right? So 6.5 now. I'll still take it. So
Andy's on Creighton. Scoop?
Yeah, I think this game's still going to be great. I'm still going to grab Marquette on the road here. Obviously, Kolek being out is with that oblique injury. He's obviously a huge part of this team. He plays the most minutes, by far the leading playmaker and assist leader. I guess Trey Jones and Stevie Mitchell is going to play more minutes and try to be a facilitator. But Marquette's still 4-1-1 against the spread versus ranked opponents. The one being that awful UConn loss. They're also 4-1-1 against the spread as an underdog. 12-5 against the spread in conference. They blitzed Providence, which I expected. They're shooting really well. The first game they played in Marquette wasn't hitting their shots and was still able to win that game. Gotta imagine they'll hit more here. Obviously, Creighton's a really solid team. I just don't really want to lay 6.5 to a Marquette team right now. So I will reluctantly take the points.
I'm with you, Scoop. I like it. I like the injury. Get everyone over on the other side. Me and Scoop will chill on a Marquette island by ourselves.
First of all, I've owned Marquette Island for years.
Yeah, you're on Creighton though. We know it.
Just put that out there.
You're
I'm on Marquette team total under, but whatever. Same difference. Look, I can't stress to you guys out there in the universe how good of a player Tyler Kolek is. He's the reigning Big East Player of the Year. As far as his efficiency and stuff like that, 96th percentile and almost everything he does. It's just really hard for me to think that team doesn't take a dip in offense. And then you have a team like Creighton who not only plays well at home, they're third best shot selection when they're at home. Everything goes up for Creighton when they're at home. So I just, like I said, I'm going to take a chance here. I think Creighton money line is a really safe parlay piece as well. But
so community is heavy on Creighton here. We got 58%. 58%. It's early, man.
We just developed a list there. That's cool.
58% against 31%. So Creighton community's definitely on Creighton there. Next up, Big Ten. We got
Torture.
We got Penn State plus 6.5 on the road at Minnesota minus 6.5. All right, Scoop. We got a Big Ten game here. This game's not really getting much attention with all the better ones on the board. Minnesota didn't cover that plus whatever the other day.
They covered their last game.
They did come back and cover at the end. They weren't covered for a lot of that game.
Yeah, they came back
against Illinois. Illinois was it?
Yeah, they covered against Illinois. They didn't cover against Nebraska.
They gave up 105, but they covered.
Yeah, they scored 97. Hey.
So Minnesota at home here.
Yeah, I'm still going to take the cover machines at home. Their scoring has gotten a lot better. They stayed with Illinois that whole game, going shot for shot. I think the offense is going to be too much for Penn State. Minnesota's in the top 50 in field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, and top 50 in 3 points. I love how Dawson Garcia has been playing, can definitely take the advantage down low. Elijah Hawkins isn't a great scorer, but he can definitely get the ball to who he needs to. I don't really like Penn State on the road here. I like Minnesota. I think their offense is just going to be too much, so give me Minnesota laying the points.
Someone called me Kyle Tyson, I guess the list.
My back is broken.
All right, Andy, I want to get to Penn State.
Yeah, I tried to get to Penn State. I went with the over instead. Both teams score a lot, so I just went with the over. I didn't love either side here because I think the number's a little high for Minnesota. But also Penn State's really just coming off a hot streak, and they're not that great of a team. Their leading scorer has been gone for a while now, so I really don't know a side here, so I just went with the over.
Toast, are you gonna jump on Penn State with me?
Yeah. No. What? No. Absolutely not. Why would I do that? I don't even understand.
Yeah.
Why
What?
You guys
No.
I don't even understand why you guys are complicating things. Minnesota minus the points. It's really that simple. I'm not even complicating. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I just continue to bet Minnesota.
Things.
As soon as they drop these lines, I'm going to continue to bet Minnesota. I mean, at what point do we have to say that Minnesota isn't cashing for us? They're
right now,
24-4 overall.
Today's the point.
Cox in Minnesota, man. That's all you need to know.
At their last home. So they'll cover. You can actually pair them with BYU. That's a safe money line parlay. Whatever you guys like to do. Minnesota's free today.
This reminds me of it was Penn State against Illinois. And everyone on this show was like, Illinois is going to kill them. Not me. I took the Nittany Lions in that. And they actually, didn't they win that outright?
Yeah.
Yep. 89-90.
Wow. Penn State money line.
Wow.
I'm betting it now. Where's my phone?
Do it.
1 second. I want this one on record.
I want this.
Well, Andy, though, is on the over, so.
Andy's on the
Honestly, if I had to pick a side, it probably would have been Penn State. I think that number's a little high.
Because Andy understands college basketball.
Sure, Andy.
Andy understands college basketball. That's why.
No, I'm not putting my name on either of these teams.
Andy's going to take over college basketball.
I hope it goes under now.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna split my money in half and go Penn State.
I hope Penn State wins now.
All right. Penn State plus. I gotta tilt my phone. Penn State plus 6, Penn State money line. Bet placed. Nittany Lions up. I'm on my own island. Good. Good. Everyone get over on the Minnesota
Where was
side.
that Illinois game at?
It was in Happy Valley.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Don't let the home away splits sway you off of a good bet, Toast.
Okay.
That's your problem.
Okay.
You get too obsessed with those things.
All right.
You trust a good program with a good coach in James Franklin.
Got it.
Iowa State.
I was going to ask you who the Penn State head coach was, but I was
James
gonna let it go.
Franklin.
All right.
Iowa State on the road in the bounce house. UCF. All right. So, as you can see, I follow college football a lot closer than I follow college basketball. Wait a second. Did I do this line? So my graphic's wrong here.
Yeah.
My graphic's wrong. It's Iowa State minus 3.5. I was doing these early as hell in the morning, and if you saw my NBA video last night, you'll know I didn't go to sleep till like 3:30. So it's Iowa State minus 3.5, which makes a lot more sense. All right. Anyway, let's start that over. Cyclones on the road in the bounce house. Toast, would you take the 3.5 with Central Florida?
I actually kind of would.
I like that too.
Yeah, so I would take the points here. Look, this isn't like a bet against Iowa State in any way, shape, or form. This team has actually been very good. When they have struggled on the way. Our way. I will say that Houston, Baylor, BYU doesn't really match up to UCF, but I will say also that Iowa State has a pretty big game against BYU on deck, and this UCF team can play defense. They're going to keep this game and try to keep it as many or lowest possessions as possible. So I think both of these teams obviously play through their defense. So I just think that points are going to be at a premium. I can see this as kind of like a sleepy spot for Iowa State. This is going to be a huge game for UCF, one of the last games, their home games that they're going to see their team. So I'm more than happy to take the points where I feel like the world is going to be on Iowa State.
Tailing with you. UCF plus 3.5. I'm with it. Scoop?
Yeah, I am the world here. I'm going to go with the road favorite.
Shocker.
Iowa State's defense is one of the best in the league, better than UCF's. Plus, Iowa State, I think, has a sizable better offense than them. UCF doesn't have much in terms of scoring except Darius Johnson and Jalen Sellers. Plus, they create a ton of turnovers, and I expect UCF to just get overwhelmed by the whole Iowa State squad.
They create a ton of turnovers.
Iowa State's offense is better because of Lipsy and Gilbert. They really helped this team get kind of an offensive identity, something they haven't had in the past. I know UCF's really strong at home in the bounce house, but Iowa State showed it can win on the road at places like TCU, Texas. Should have had that Baylor win when they lost by 2 and played a tough Houston team away. All those teams are way better than UCF. Give me Iowa State on the road easily.
It's a flat spot for Iowa State, Scoop. Spot is flat.
Thank you.
Flat is.
Let's put Andy on Iowa State. He doesn't have the stones.
No. I had 2 here. I had the under. I have the under, which is my main because I think there will be no points in this game. Both of these. The offense for UCF is awful. Iowa State's great defense. Offense is meh. So I love the under, and I side UCF. I've been on UCF for a while this year, especially at home. I think they're a really good home team. I think it'll be a very close, low-scoring game, like 46-47 type thing. That type of score.
3 of us on the Knights. 3 of us on UCF plus 3.5. Toast on Iowa State Island, but he's not alone because the
Scoop is.
Scoop. Oh, did I say Toast? Scoop is on an island by
Put me
himself.
on that island with him.
Yeah. You know,
you wouldn't want to be on an island with me. It'd be a rough time.
Nobody would want to be on an island.
So 58%, 31%. Community's heavy on Iowa State here. Next. NC State, North Carolina. Not sure how this one made the cut, Andy. But
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I feel like there was better options here.
I'll go first. I'm gonna grab the points. Probably dumb, but I don't think North Carolina looks very good right now. They barely escaped Miami at home by 4. They lost to Clemson, lost to Syracuse. They're obviously still great, but I think this is too many points, especially for an NC State who needs a win desperately. And it's still a rivalry for them. Maybe not so much North Carolina, but the Tar Heels are 2-4 against their spread in the last 6. This same NC State team in their last 8, they lost to Pitt, Wake Forest, and Syracuse by 10 combined. They beat Clemson on the road. They beat Boston College and Georgia Tech, which is whatever. But they can hang in these games. RJ Davis has been crazy lately, but shut him down, and they can definitely keep it close. Baycott's like 35 years old. I don't think anything of him. NC State isn't a bad offensive. Yeah, he's like 90. NC State isn't a bad offensive team at all. Their defense just let Florida State shoot all over them, which was surprising. But I think State has enough offense to keep with North Carolina with DJ Burns, Horn, and Jaden Taylor. This should be a closer game than what the line says.
I'm actually leaning the other way. Let's see what Andy thinks.
Yeah, the reason this made the cut is because it's a rivalry game, good game. I like North Carolina State here too. I think they cover this number.
Really?
It's way
Both
too high.
of you guys?
Yeah, UNC's not a team that really blows
NC
teams
State
out.
is trash, though.
Not
Didn't we all take NC State
say
plus 2?
trash.
Didn't we all take NC State
Florida State
against Florida State plus 2 against Florida State? We all took it, and they got their asses
Bounce back
beat
game
by Florida State. I don't know. On the road in
I
Chapel
think the
Hill.
rivalry game plays into it too. I think this will be a big game. I think Florida State middle of the week is kind of a crappy game. Now you're going to Chapel Hill rivalry game. I think it'll be very close.
Someone said my bets are so cold. I had one losing day yesterday. I don't know what you guys want from me. I was fucking dominating, and then we had mid-majors yesterday, so give me a break.
You actually did well on the show yesterday, too. It wasn't even terrible.
Whatever.
Depends on what your definition of doing well is.
That's true, too.
It's just living
I'm
sauce.
trying to help the kid out.
All right.
North Carolina's the play here, guys.
Yeah,
North
there
Carolina
we go.
is the play here today, guys. Look, they're going to be. I don't think that NC State has the horses to stay with North Carolina. I truly don't. If you take a look at the teams that North Carolina State has played on the road, Florida State lost by 7. They won against Clemson. I don't even think Clemson's that good. I truly believe that. I can't wait to bet against them in this in the NCAA tournament. They lost to Wake Forest on the road. They lost to Syracuse on the road, Virginia on the road. They beat Louisville on the road. Like, I just don't understand at what point this season NC State has done anything on the road to impress me here. So I'll have more than happy to take my chances with North Carolina here at home.
Agreed. I'm on North Carolina as well. Minus 10.5. I've been fading North Carolina too. I like this.
Yeah, I haven't played North Carolina in a minute, but yeah.
I don't like their offense, but their defense, NC State's going to be held under
yeah.
50.
What's good about their offense is they can play defense, and then their offense, if Davis is hot and Baycott is still a good college player, so that's how they'll be able to win games.
Next, we are on to the SEC.
Oh.
We got Mississippi State on the road at Auburn in the jungle. The line is 9.5. Mississippi State plus 9.5. Scoop, people are asking what your lock of the day was. Have you given one out yet?
No, not yet.
Do you have one on the agenda?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
He's got a lock of the day on the agenda. Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on Mississippi State here. I think they're going to out-rebound them pretty solidly in this one. Tolu Smith with extra possession scares me. They'll get a lot done at the rim. Auburn loves to shoot threes. That's something Mississippi State's not going to really let you do. So I think it's a good matchup for Mississippi State. The number's just high enough for me to side Mississippi State. I think it'll be like a 6-7 point Auburn win. Auburn's coming off they're both coming off pretty tough losses. Auburn was playing close to Tennessee. Mississippi State should have beaten Kentucky. They were winning for most of that game, came back, blew it at the buzzer. So both of these teams coming off tough ones. I like Mississippi State to bounce back here.
Yeah, it's tough to fade Auburn at home, but it's also, if you just look at the recent game mugs for Mississippi State, it's tough to argue against that team. Let's bring up Scoop. Scoop?
Yeah, listen, Auburn's obviously been a beast their whole time at home, but they have a great offensive suffocating defense. I think this is too many points for Mississippi State. State can really clamp down on defense. They've been riding high here. They have a good chance to make the tournament. Like Andy said, they should have probably won that Kentucky game. Auburn's been scuffling a bit. Mississippi State just played a way better game against Kentucky than Auburn actually did. Tolu Smith, Josh Hubbard should do enough on the offensive side of the game to keep them in this. I know Auburn has one of the best defenses, but the last 5 games they've given up an average of 76 points. Not to mention Mississippi State already beat them. They know how to beat them. And even if Auburn does win this, I'll gladly take the points because I think Mississippi State also has enough defense to stay in this game, to stay in this throughout the whole game. So I think Auburn probably wins, but like Andy said, this should be a closer game than 10 points.
I like Mississippi State too. I agree with you guys. I'm siding with you guys.
Toast Island coming.
Toast.
Here it comes, baby. Welcome to the jungle. I hope you guys are ready for that, baby. Just so you guys know, I will be on Auburn. I love Auburn here today. Last time we saw Auburn in the jungle, they got punked by Kentucky. And then they went and played Tennessee. Connect went off. That gave a little bit of Jalen Williams should be just fine now today. Mississippi State, they're all right. I can understand what these guys are saying, but at home in the jungle, all of 13 Alabama or Auburn's home games, they've won by double digits. I'll take my chances here. Auburn comes to play today. Auburn in a rout.
So community actually slightly agrees with Toast there. 49%, 42%. So it's a close one. But yeah, so a lot of people on Mississippi State, a lot of people on Auburn. It's just that we're kind of split on that one. Next game. We're back in the Big Ten, which means we got Scoop up first. Iowa on the road at Northwestern. I could tell you before Scoop even talks that I want to be on Iowa here. I'm waiting to see their opinions, but that's where I want to be. I love that Iowa offense. And catching 3.5, that's where I want to be. Scoop, you siding with me there?
No, I think the whole world's on Iowa right now. I was trying to make a push late here. I understand why you picked them. Their offense does look great. But Northwestern's been a really surprising strong team here down the stretch. They really should have 5 wins in a row. That Rutgers game, they were battling injuries through that. And with Langborg being out, they've been doing well without him. Martinelli has really helped his team out, contributing for Boo Buie and Barnheiser. Blake Smith has come in and play some great defense also. They're hitting their threes. They're playing great defense lately, great at protecting the ball. Plus, they're really going to want that bye in the Big Ten tournament. The first 4 get buys, if you don't know, so they're right around there. Iowa has a nice offense, but their defense, I don't think is going to make enough stops to keep this game within the spread. I love the way Northwestern's playing, so I'm going to lay the 3.5.
All right, let's bring up Andy. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with him on Northwestern. I think Boo Buie's going to get whatever the hell he wants in this game. I mean, this Iowa defense is awful. The only thing that would hinder that, or me picking Northwestern, would be their offense being stopped by somebody, because their defense is really solid. So I'm fully on Northwestern here. It might actually be my favorite of the day just because how public Iowa is, and I think Boo Buie's going to crush them. So.
Damn. Toast, you on Northwestern too?
No, I didn't bet it, but just because of what I'm seeing with Iowa. But honestly, I don't trust what I'm seeing with Northwestern. I understand that they've looked decent since they lost Ty Berry, but they've also beat Penn State, Indiana, Michigan without McDaniel, and Maryland or whatever. So I'm just really not there. I don't love that the world's on Iowa, but Iowa is the only one of these two teams that still has a shot at the NCAA tournament. I think that they have a better coach in Fran McCaffrey, so I lean taking the points. Those pie charts scare the hell out of me.
So it said, never trust a man who sleeps on a futon.
It's a king bed. Like, I have a wife.
He's got a wife and kids.
I have a wife that doesn't.
Well, I'm not sleeping on a futon with my wife.
That doesn't mean he's not sleeping on a futon.
Right there. He likes
Yo,
it.
that comment was awesome.
That was a good comment. That was funny.
I swear Scoop could go 8-2, and the next day he was like, this guy Scoop sucks.
This guy blows. It's very polarizing.
All right, so 54%, 28% on Northwestern. So our community heavy on the Wildcats. Next up, Texas, Kansas. This is supposed to be Texas A&M, Georgia, right?
Yeah, that's. I did that. I did
yeah,
all.
you did. Hold on one sec. I can fix this in. Whoops, I opened the wrong program.
I'm a man. I have a wife.
I'm not sleeping on a futon. Hold on one sec. It'll take me like 30 seconds to fix this. But I want Andy's at this game, so I want the graphics to be right for it. Yeah, that was funny. All right, so this is game number 13.
This should be 13, yes.
Northwestern has been hot from deep.
Northwestern's been hot from deep, you say?
That's coming to an end soon tonight.
He's such a dick.
Hold on one sec, guys. I promise it's coming. Just give me a second. There we go. Let's call it game 13A, and I'll fix this. All right, let's get Andy up first. Andy is going to be at this game, by the way, and you're probably looking at the screen going, what game? Just give me a second. While Andy is talking, the correct graphics will pop up when they're done rendering. So we got Texas A&M -1.5, Georgia +1.5, and Andy, I'm not going to lie, this line feels really short for the dogs.
It's a pick'em now,
yeah.
Or was it pick'em?
Is it a pick'em now?
Still 1.5.
1.5?
It was a pick'em last night.
Yeah, this might be the first time this season where I don't think Georgia's going to be in this game. I think they are coming out of.
Wait, you're going to the game and you're gonna fade him.
He's wearing a Georgia.
Obviously.
She's wearing a Georgia fleece.
I knew.
That's
I
not
know
a regular
get,
fleece either. That's like a special
That's a coach's
edition. Show him
fleece.
the cup, Andy. Show him the cup.
Everybody
Yeah,
stop. All right, whoa. No, I mean, I think a lot of the games this year I thought Georgia could keep it close. In this one, now one of their leading scorers apparently is just not playing. RJ Melendez, they benched him. I don't know. Nobody ever had an explanation why. So I think it's more they're trying to get the young guys playing. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss again to LSU. They just keep losing games down the stretch. So the mix that with they don't have much scoring right now. A&M is about as desperate as you can get right now because they still technically are on the bubble. I really don't like the spot for Georgia. I think A&M knows how badly they need it. Georgia is coming off their last game at home, getting crushed. I don't think this one. I don't think it'll be like 20 points, but I think this will be an 8-9 point A&M win.
All right, I finally fixed the graphics. Sorry about that. I don't know.
I hope I'm wrong, by the way.
Hold on. God damn. Finally got
that
it.
Melendez stuff was weird. I was hoping that you knew something about it, but yeah, that's crazy stuff.
There we go. Graphics are now correct. Okay.
Friggin' prop beaver,
So
man.
Scoops, Andy's fading his own team there. Scoop?
No, Andy's completely wrong. I'm not betting the Aggies here. Andy's in Georgia to watch this game. Andy's gonna inspire this team. It's not why I'm picking Georgia. I do hope they win. I just think that obviously they're both on pretty massive slides. But Georgia's in really every game they play. I think they have the shooting advantage in this game. Texas A&M is shooting under 40% right now, bottom 10 in the entire nation, and they're the worst shooting team in all the power conferences. They're even worse than Vanderbilt and Rutgers. They also barely beat IUPUI in terms of three-point shooting. They're honestly just a bad offensive team. Plus, their opponents are just constantly shooting better than them. A&M's 2-8. They're past 10 against the spread. They did just lose to Vanderbilt and Arkansas on this slide. I'm going to take a Georgia team, which really seems to at least put the ball in the net. So I will take Georgia, and I will fade Andy and his Bulldogs. I'm pretty disappointed in him.
Yeah, well, I'm also leading Georgia here just because the line's suspicious, and it feels like at this line everyone should be taking Texas A&M. Dogs are going to show up, and he's going to be on the losing side while watching his team win.
I hope I am. I really do.
I'm on the Dogs. Toast?
I would be on Georgia as well. I'm just not in a spot where I like Texas A&M. The spot for Georgia is weird too, with Melendez not playing and stuff. It's just a weird situation, but it sounds like that's what they want to do. So I would be on Georgia. This was one of the ones that I just really had a hard time getting to on either side on this one.
All right, poll. Wow, it's going to come down to the wire here on the poll. The winner is Georgia, 42%, 41%. Community pretty much split even.
I'm completely alone.
Yeah, you're by yourself on that.
Going to the game.
While going to the game wearing a Georgia fleece.
Interesting.
Wearing a Georgia fleece. You're wearing a Georgia fleece, and you pick Texas A&M.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Virginia on the road in Cameron. Duke laying 9 points here. Wait, hold on. Let me get the live poll. Toast, what would you do here?
I really so bad want to take Virginia.
Then do it.
So I'm going to. I didn't bet it, but I really want to, and I'm really, really thinking about it, and I'm ready for the pain that comes with betting Virginia basketball. But I understand. I think that they're going to really try to slow this game down. I think that Duke, after coming back and Filipowski surviving everything and then being able to beat Louisville, I think that everything can kind of calm down. Maybe they sit some guys. Maybe they rest a little bit. I don't know. I just think that Virginia makes this game an absolute crawl, and 9 points is going to be a lot at the end. So I'm going to take my chances with Virginia, and it makes me want to puke.
Me too. That's why I'm betting it right now. That's what I'm actually doing. I got a +9 at -102.
Yeah.
Bet
it's
place.
9 now? Yeah. Okay. I'm on my way too.
I'm in on Virginia. Let me put it up for me.
God damn it.
What does Toast always say? Defense travels. And the Virginia defense is going to travel here. Do I expect the offense to do much on the road in Cameron Indoor? No. But we're bringing an elite defense in a rivalry game, and we're getting damn near double-digit points.
In a 124 total as well. Keep that in mind.
Greggy Meatballs also likes Virginia a lot today.
Okay, Greggy.
Scoop Virginia, right?
Virginia's not traveling shit. I don't want anything part of this Virginia team right now.
You're going to lay
after watching their last
9.5
three
points
games.
here.
North Carolina only scored 54, Scoop.
They
This is a
really
bad
didn't look
pick,
good
Scoop.
against Boston
Scoop, this is a
College as
bad
an away
pick.
team. We all saw how they looked against Virginia Tech. That North Carolina team, they only scored 44 points at home. I don't give a shit if North Carolina scored only 54. I know UNC is a better defensive better squad than Duke, but I don't want to see this offense playing at Cameron Indoor. It's going to be ugly. Again, I'm just glad Filipowski can be here after that brutal knee injury, but anyone that has any kind of semblance of an offense will beat Virginia right now. It's not because Virginia's a bad defense. They're not. They have an incredible defense. It's just that the other big teams like a Duke, a North Carolina will do enough on offense to win this game and cover because Virginia just doesn't have enough offense. It's like watching paint dry out there. Duke is more capable of making enough stops, too, to cover this number. So give me Duke.
Andy?
I don't know, Scoop.
Yeah, that's a bad bet, Scoop. That's a bad pick.
I think it's pretty solid, personally.
Then it's bad for me too because I like.
You're laying 9.5 points here.
This is exactly like Washington State USC the other night. This is
a
exactly
bad bet.
one.
This is a bad bet.
What Toast said, and he said North Carolina only scored 54 points or whatever against Virginia. Yeah, North Carolina is not a very good offensive team. We've gone through that, right? They're not at the level usually we see them at. They're a much better defensive team. I like this Duke offense. I've been saying it for months now. I had them against UNC. I really think this team's at any night could beat you by 20. I think they're really talented. I think they're much faster than Virginia. Virginia's pace has kind of taken them out of some games, especially going to Cameron Indoor. You can't play that style and think you're going to keep it close. I like Duke. I think 12-13 would probably be the number here. I think Duke will win this one easily.
Just a little bit of pushback. Duke doesn't play at the highest pace either.
No, you're right. I know. They're not like a super fast team, but like a middle of the pack team in pace is faster than Virginia.
I get it.
It's going to be a slow-paced defensive game, and you're trying to lay double digits. Bad.
And I truly believe that if Duke gets up to, like a 10, 12-point lead, they might pull Filipowski, and then
you're right about that.
That's because of his brutal injury.
10 minutes of Virginia playing the Duke bench.
Filipowski deserves a lot of love, though. He came back from death.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
so impressive.
People are asking if Scoop is really prop Ever in disguise. No, he's not.
No, I actually win my bets. So.
Oh man, don't kick him while he's down. Prop Ever's cold right now.
Sorry.
That's not cool.
That's not cool.
Not cool. No.
You would say the same thing to me.
Oh yeah, I say it to him.
Oh yeah, for you.
I'm better. I'm supposed to be better than him. Got it.
All right. So
You're the elder.
we're into the Big 12. I have Scoop up first for this one. Not sure why. Usually I go with Toast in the Big 12. But Scoop, want to lead us off?
Scoop.
Yeah, sure. I'm not a big Cincy fan. I'm going to take the points here. I know Kansas State turns the ball over way too much. They're one of the worst teams in protecting the ball, but it's a good thing Cincy doesn't really create a bunch of turnovers. Both these teams aren't really good. Cincy's lost 6 of the last 8. Their only 2 wins came by a combined 5 points. Kansas State lost 6 consecutive road Big 12 games, but I feel like Kansas State's a better team here. They're a better defensive squad. I think Kaluma and Carter are just better than any player Cincinnati has. Plus, this is just maybe their last chance of winning the rest of the regular season since they're playing Kansas and Iowa State next. I mean, I know Kansas State's a bad road record, but since he's kind of garbage at home, losing their last 3 there, including 1 to Oklahoma State. So I will take the points on the road.
Someone says Scoop wonders why he gets shits on. Kicks prop even while he's down. That's shameful.
He's right. I actually, I'm sorry. Like I said, I am in therapy, so
Toast, do you agree with Scoop's move that he's going to take the points with Kansas State?
No, I can't because of their struggles on the road. And I understand that Cincinnati is not some juggernaut, but they were in that game with Houston for a while. They ended up kind of losing it at the end. I mean, I don't think they played terrible against a very, very good Houston team. They got beat up by TCU. They played a really close game against Oklahoma State in a 4-point loss. They won against UCF. They were within 10 points of Iowa State at home. They played Houston before that. I mean, they've actually played a really hard schedule. So coming in, seeing a 70th plus team on Ken Palm in Kansas State, I think this is going to be a nice little breath of fresh air. Not to mention they're going to be at home. So I would lean Cincinnati. Really hard to lay 6.5 points with this team, but it looks like the books have no problem putting that number out there. So because people to continue to bet the other side, and that number stays around 6.5. So I'll be on Cincinnati myself.
You took took the words right out of my mouth. Look at this line. Everyone's coming in on Kansas State. Everyone, including Scoop. Line's not moving. This is a real sharp spot to lay the points at Cincinnati. That's the way I'm going as well.
When we're done with today, I need you to do that Twitter post again of the people's records and see if I get more than one win, like you said.
Well, that was my prediction. You might be able to go over that total. Man, I had to reset my whole slideshow here. Hold on. Let me get to Cincinnati minus 6.5. We went through a lot of games already. Andy, what do you like?
I can't lay 6.5 points with a team that hasn't won a home game in a month, so I'm going to take Kansas State here. January 27th was the last time Cincinnati won a home game. Granted, the competition's been pretty strong, right? Actually, it hasn't, though. They did lose to Oklahoma State at home, so I lied.
Oklahoma State and then Iowa State, Houston were the only
Oklahoma
other two
State's
losses.
such a powerhouse.
Hasn't won a home game in a month. Cincinnati might win the game. I'm not saying they're going to lose. They're not going to win this game by that big of a margin. And they haven't won a home game in a month. I'm sorry. I think Kansas State's got a lot of talent too. What'd you say?
So you want to bet that fleece on it?
Please. Apparently, I'm never wearing it again. So yeah.
He's never wearing it again.
They're doing pink slips for the fleece.
56%, 24%. So community heavy on Kansas State there. So if you're betting Kansas State, know that it's definitely a public dog. Next up, we got Toast's beloved Houston. Don't insult Houston in front of Toast. He'll have an aneurysm.
Don't do it. Do not.
But
a lot of disrespect going around.
the question is, do you respect Houston enough to lay 6.5 points on the road in Norman?
Not necessarily. I did them in a moneyline parlay, but for the sake of the show, yes, I will. I don't see any way. First of all, Oklahoma's terrible. I've been saying this. They've had one win in the last couple of weeks, or two wins, both of them at Oklahoma State. Prior to that, they had won a game against BYU at home where BYU didn't show up. I just don't trust this team at all. This Houston team's an absolute juggernaut. Not only is Houston very good defensively, we talk about that, but effective field goal percentage, maybe not go so well on the offensive end, but efficiency wise, Houston's number 2. Houston doesn't turn the ball over at all. And that's things that I really want, especially on the road. So I'll take my chances with my boys from Houston.
I don't know what the hell to do in this one. Scoop.
I used Houston in a money line parlay with somebody else as one of my favorite plays.
Scoop.
Oklahoma just had a hard time their last 5 games. They beat Oklahoma State twice, barely, only winning those 2 games by 6 points combined. Plus, they had a hard time scoring against Baylor, Kansas, and Iowa State. Iowa State, they only put up 45 points. If they're having trouble scoring against Iowa State, the same thing's going to happen here. This is my favorite bet of the day. Houston's going to suffocate Oklahoma's offense. Like Toast said, Oklahoma sucks. Plus, Oklahoma lost all kinds of home court advantage. They lost 3 of their last 5. Houston should just make Oklahoma's time miserable here. I expect McCollum to turn the ball over at a decent pace. Owe and Moore aren't going to have enough open space to shoot. Not one player got into double digits against Iowa State. They shot 32% on the floor. They may be a little better at home for this one, but I expect the same kind of game with Houston just doing enough on offense to cover the spread. So I think they win by double digits.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do have to agree with good Scoop and Toast here. This is the only way I'd go. I want to be on Oklahoma, but I can't.
I was trying to get to Oklahoma. I was trying to look for like a look ahead spot, something like that, trying to like shift my thoughts, but I couldn't get there.
Yeah, I can't do it. Andy?
I can't find anywhere where Oklahoma can even keep this close. I like Houston. I love this Houston team too. I think they're more of a defensive team. Obviously, that's why I'm more of a UConn guy because they score, but I think they're the 2 best teams in the country, and I think Houston is going to show it today. I don't like this Oklahoma team at all. Like he said, I think Oklahoma State's awful. They beat them by a combined 6 points this year, so I think that pretty much says enough for me.
All right, so all 4 of us on Houston. Community, 73%, 16% on Houston. So this has been the most decisive community vote the whole time. Everyone loves Houston, which scares the shit out of me, but there's no way I could take Oklahoma.
Wasn't one of the Oklahoma State wins a buzzer beater too from Oklahoma?
Not sure.
I don't remember. I think it was.
Was. Yes.
Next up, Tennessee on the road at Alabama. Tennessee starts their they're in the middle of it now. Their gauntlet of a schedule. In the last 4 games of the season, Tennessee's got Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina. Every single good team in the SEC, Tennessee plays them in the last 4 games. So they're right in the middle of that. They're on the road here in Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. Andy, Tennessee live dog or no?
No, I have Bama here. I like it a lot too. I think I know we just said they're facing a whole bunch of teams, so it's kind of tough. They knew this schedule was getting to this point, but I think there's got to be something said for beating Auburn and then having to go play Alabama. That's a tough spot to be in. I think it opened as a pick'em, so I'm probably with the entire country here taking Alabama, but I'm okay with that because I think Alabama just as good as Tennessee, and I don't think they get as much love for it.
I want to be on the other side, to be honest. Scoop?
Yeah, I'm with Andy. I think there's a revenge spot here where Tennessee absolutely decked Alabama by 20 in Knoxville.
It was a decking? It was a decking?
It was a decking. Alabama continues to lead this league in offense, points per game, offensive efficiency. I know the real problem is their defense. I don't have any concerns of Alabama scoring, even though Tennessee is great on the defensive end. The real question is if they'll be able to make stops whatsoever. They just gave up 88 to Ole Miss, 117 to Kentucky, 93 to Florida. Yeah. So even A&M, when we talked about earlier, scored 75 against them. But I'm still going to take them at home basically by simply outscoring Tennessee. They're going to shoot better at home. I think they only had 19% from 3 against Tennessee their first game. And Tennessee also gives up to 38% on the road as on the defensive end for 3. Plus, Dawson Connect has a face I want to punch. I don't know what it is. So give me Alabama at home here.
What the hell?
Toast. I just hate white college
Bet the Vols with me, Toast. Bet the Vols.
I already set it out on your website last night. Alabama -2.5. First of all, just hate the spot for Tennessee. They just played a fantastic game against Auburn. Dalton Connect went off. Now they got to come on the road and face an Alabama team who's looking revenge after they said they lost by 20 earlier in the season. And it's going to be a pretty big step up in class for Tennessee as well. Like I said, they just played Auburn, but before that, they were playing teams like Vanderbilt, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas A&M. None of those teams are even close to the same level as Alabama. Tennessee's been decent on the road this year, 6-3, but over the last 2 seasons, Tennessee's just 4-10 ATS on the road. Alabama got embarrassed by Kentucky, and then they followed that up with a pretty solid win against Ole Miss. I think this place is going to be rocking, and I think they run it up on Tennessee tonight.
I just placed my bet, and I'm about to put it on the screen. One sec. I don't care if I'm on my own little volunteer island. Let me get it up.
Somebody brought up Dalton Connect's home away splits. I didn't realize that they actually recently he has been, if he's playing at home, scoring like 35, and if he's playing on the road, like 15. I did not realize that it was that stark.
I'm betting
earlier on he was crushing.
I'm betting Tennessee's defense here. Bet is placed. Vols on the money line, baby. Plus 142. I'm by myself. Where's my graphic? There we go. Tennessee plus 3.5. I took the money line. I think if when this opened up as a pick'em, that sounds about right. This line has been bet out of control here. Over a possession in this game, I think Tennessee's the overall better team. Now I understand home court advantage being played in Alabama. That's why it's a pick'em. Makes sense. But plus 3.5, no way. I'll take this.
You could have just Venmo'd me $200. I would have took it.
Yeah, and maybe you can upgrade from a futon.
Actually, I need better lighting for my computer, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I'll say. Look how dark Scoop's face is.
Give me something. Send it to me. I'll do it.
You need me to buy you a light to go on your laptop?
I was going to say, what, a light?
Thank you, boss.
I don't know. Just go on Amazon. Type in lighting for a laptop.
I'll expense it.
Just type in light.
I'll send you the bill.
I bet you can get one for $13.
I bet you they're cheaper because I've already bought one.
Yeah, they're nothing. Dude makes his wife sleep on a futon. Needs me to buy him a light.
Attention over here, man.
Am I? Oh, wait, let me get the live poll here. Okay, so this line feels big to me. I mean, I know Purdue's at home and Purdue's the better team, but tell me this line doesn't feel big.
It feels big, but I think that the pie charts tell a story, and I think that Purdue rolls. But I'll let some other bells go.
Yeah, I was gonna have Scoop go first.
Yeah.
Michigan State, Purdue, Scoop.
Oh man, no, I'm actually with Toast. Michigan coming Michigan State coming off those pretty bad losses they really needed. Now they travel to Purdue. I think Purdue beats them pretty handily here. Purdue at the Mackey Center are 14-0 against this season. I don't think anyone on Michigan State can stop Edey personally. Plus, they're just going to dominate the boards in this one. This Purdue team is better than last year because now they can shoot the ball from the floor, especially behind the three-point line. They're one of the best in the nation. Laura and Smith have really done a better job on a defensive end when we already know Edey can play great defense down low. Yeah, and Michigan State won their last 2 road games, but that was Michigan and Penn State. I don't think Tyson Walker or Hager will be able to score enough to keep this game close, so I'm going to lay the 10.5.
Sounds like Toast agrees with you, Scoop.
Yeah, I'm at a point with this Michigan State team. I just can't do it anymore. Understand that they've played actually decent on the road at times, wins at Maryland, Penn State, Michigan. So it's not like they're terrible on the road. But I understand they've played a really hard schedule, top 4 in the country. A lot of things look decent for them, but this Purdue team is actually absolutely rolling right now. And like I said, I just do not trust this Michigan State team right now. And it seems like they're extremely public and popular right now. So I have more than happy to take my chances with the Boilermakers.
Wow. Andy, you down to take Sparty with me?
Toast, what's the tweet? January, February, Izzo? I'm going Mike Izzo.
There we go.
Tom Izzo.
Mike Izzo.
Mike Izzo sucks and so does Tom.
No, in my head, I'm thinking baseball, and it's Mike Rizzo, so that's what got me mixed up.
No. You thought it was Mike Izzo. You thought it was
you're
Mike
talking
Izzo.
about Tom Rizzo.
I promise you I did not. But no, I like Izzo in March. I think they could win this game. I could see them winning this game. This would be a very close game.
I'm doing it.
I've been on Michigan State all year, and they've let me down a few times. But eventually it has to happen. This team's going to go to the tournament. They have a really good team. They have enough talent to beat Purdue. I know the Edey. It's tough. Who's going to cover Edey, all that crap? Fine. I will go against that for Purdue. I think Purdue is a second round of 32 letdown waiting to happen, and I think it's going to happen again. I think it starts tonight, their fade, because I think Michigan State is good enough to beat them, and I think they will.
Sending.
What's funny is
Mike Izzo.
What's funny is Andy set it up so well too. He's like January. February.
I know.
Mike Izzo, baby.
Mike Izzo.
I was thinking Mike Rizzo.
Mike Rizzo. All right, so let me get it up on the screen. I'm in on Sparty. Definitely.
Oh, and that whole March thing, he's since COVID, I think he's like 0-3 in true road games in March, just so you know.
But Tom Izzo sucks.
So in this one, I split my money in half. I put half on the plus 10.5, half on the money line, baby. Let's go, Sparty. Me and Andy. Me, Andy, and Mike Rizzo. 46%.
Is Tyson Walker playing for Michigan State? That's a serious question.
40.
Andy.
I believe he is. I haven't seen anything that says he is. The game's at like 8 o'clock tonight, right? So we're probably not going to know.
He's playing, Toast. Relax. He's just looking for anything because he knows he's on the wrong side.
Tom Rizzo.
I'm not worried about it.
Tom Rizzo.
January, February, Mike Izzo.
That's a t-shirt.
No, actually, I said that right, and then I fucked up the name after.
No, you messed it up. You messed it up all around.
Happens.
You and your Georgia fleece. All right, so next game we have TCU on the road at BYU. Dude, it's been a long show. We got 2 games left. We have this one and then the Toast Bowl.
85%.
It's not a Toast Bowl. It's a route.
We have this one and then the Toast Bowl. Toast, I actually have you put up first. You're leading off the last 2 games here. TCU on the road and BYU. I mean, I can tell you I'd like to be on TCU here, but I don't really know. What do you think?
No, I actually really like BYU here. I would lay the 6.5. I also paired BYU with Minnesota on the money line. But this BYU team is, I just don't really like the spot for TCU. TCU had a couple decent wins against Houston and Baylor in triple overtime, but besides that, they've lost all their games against higher level competition like BYU. This is also going to be the first time TCU travels to Utah. I think that's going to be a huge disadvantage when you couple the fact that BYU has one of the best home court advantages in the country.
It's fake elevation. Don't even
BYU somehow lost to Cincinnati at home, but their only other loss at home was against Houston, which is understandable. Yeah, so I think BYU comes out pretty hot here tonight.
Did you actually bet this one, or is this a pick for the show?
I did.
You took BYU.
BYU, NIU did the money line parlay, correct, yes.
Andy, you agree with them?
Yeah, I had BYU
Really?
Cruises
You
at
guys
home.
like
I don't.
BYU?
Yeah, I don't like TCU on the road, and I don't think it's fake elevation. I think there's something to be said about BYU's home court advantage. It's really good. It's been pretty good all year.
No,
So,
the
yeah, I
elevation's
like
real in Colorado, not in Utah. There's no elevation.
So it's fake.
in Utah.
Okay.
It's fake.
Regardless,
I didn't know they
TCU
could be
never
fake
made
elevation.
this trip as a school before. This is all new to them.
What? What do you like? It's
a
not.
tough trip.
It's not like they've never left their hometown before. They've traveled. They'll be all right.
No.
It's like they're gonna walk.
Whatever
You're
you
speaking
want.
about Utah like it's a foreign planet. Like they'll be fine. It's a basketball court.
They've
Foreign
described
planet.
it feeling very foreign to them. That's a great word that you use. Correct.
I'm feeling. Well, being in Utah, how can we play basketball here? They'll be fine.
Yeah, because you've never been there. You don't understand what it feels like. You
So?
can't breathe at times.
Oh my God, you guys! What is with your obsession
Listen,
with Utah?
Listen, BYU's a solid team. They had a great first year in the Big 12. I was in Utah. It's fake elevation. Even I was breathing fine, and I'm fat. They're coming off that great Kansas win. I like them. I like the letdown spot here. Maybe not lose, but TCU can cover the spread. They've been really great on offense recently. Something they were struggling with earlier in the season. Emmanuel Miller's really stepped up the game. Maybe not last game, but he needs to take over more when his team can't make a shot like Tennyson against Baylor last game. Their shots were falling, but their defense kept them in that Baylor game. Their defense kept them in mostly all of their games. So I like TCU here on the road, even though they're traveling 9,000 miles to a foreign country. So give me TCU.
Yo, someone said Sauce would be sucking down those canned airs in Utah.
Oh yeah, you would trust me for sure.
Oh shit!
Just
a good
walking
one.
down the street, like
So I'm taking. I'm with Scoop. Me and Scoop are. I actually don't think me and Scoop have been on the same side once this whole show.
yeah, look at the first one.
Game.
I almost made it the whole show.
Game 19. Me and Scoop finally land on the same side. TCU plus 6.5. So it looks like the poll actually agrees with Andy and Toast though. 46%, 37% on BYU. They think that this trip to another world is going to be too much for TCU.
Never
letting it be
like
known.
Utah. What's that?
All right, it's time for the Toast Bowl.
I'll go last
Gonzaga.
again. I'll go last again.
Oh, you want to go last?
I like being last in this game.
It's the Toast Bowl. It's Gonzaga.
I want to hear all about it. I want to
on
hear
the road
all about it.
at St. Mary's. All right, let's get the poll up. Let's get ourselves settled here. This is
Don't
a
forget
huge
to mention
game.
The last Gonzaga game.
This is Gonzaga looks strong in their last outing. So let's bring up. Let's let Andy lead off in his Georgia fleece.
Yeah, I'm never wearing this again. I might throw it out the window, honestly. Yeah, I'm not going against Gonzaga in this one. After what happened on Thursday, there's no way I can go against. And also, it's something, as we said, this is a revenge spot too. They lost in their own building to this team, and it was. It wasn't ugly like in the way they lost, but the end of the game was like actually ugly. They were throwing shit on the court. So yeah, this is a ultimate revenge spot. Coming off maybe I think the best game they've had all year against San Francisco. So. Everything points to Gonzaga to me, and the pie charts say St. Mary's, so I love being on Gonzaga.
Yeah, someone asked if Toast is really from Alaska. He's from Washington. He lives in Alaska now. So actually, Toast is from I believe the Spokane area, right?
Yep.
That's why he's a Zags fan. That's where he grew up.
We've been going to Gonzaga games since I was a little kid. Before they were just starting to be who they were.
Toast, would you agree with Andy that Zags are the move here?
Yeah.
Oh no,
obviously
Scoop.
know
I'm
that-
sorry. You said you wanted to go last.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go Scoop.
Yeah, great way to end things here. One of the best games of the day. Gales won their first game on the road as a 4.5-point dog. Gonzaga only had that one loss, and Santa Clara has losses on their season at WCC. St. Mary's already won the conference. They're obviously going to play real hard here, trying to go undefeated. Would it be their first time ever, Toast, if they went undefeated here in their conference?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that road game against San Fran still counts as a quad one road game, which they desperately needed, Gonzaga. And yeah, they're going to get another quad one road game win here. St. Mary's has been rolling over long. They're blowing teams out, but Gonzaga, they found their groove throughout the season. They're on a 7-game winning streak. In their last 16, they only lost 2 by a combined 3 points, including that St. Mary's loss. This is payback. This is to show Gonzaga can still compete. Wessel may be out for St. Mary's, which would really open the paint for the Zags as well. I love Gonzaga here to win outright, so give me the Zags.
Doesn't it feel like I mean, obviously, how do you not take Gonzaga? But doesn't it feel like everyone in the world is taking Gonzaga?
Not according to your pie charts.
It doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah, the pie charts.
Is there anybody in the comments on St. Mary's?
It feels
Somebody
very like the last game to me, boys. So just a couple things. That was a hell of a point by Scoop about Wellis. That's a really big. That could be a really huge loss for them because Santa Clara. St. Mary's is already dealing with depth issues. Keep in mind, Joshua Jefferson will not be playing. He's missed the last couple games, but he's their most athletic player. He's the guy that can switch to play. He can guard 1 through 5, switch anything. So that's a huge piece for them. So now if you remove both of those guys, that's good. You have an already short St. Mary's bench, and now it's even shorter. Gonzaga with revenge. And again, you guys can say that I'm a homer on my one, but Gonzaga is playing some of their best basketball they've played all season. They are absolutely humming offensively. If Gonzaga hits a kill shot with these guys, they go on a 10-0 run. This game will be over. I can assure you that Gonzaga wins this one, boys.
Someone says, Sauce, do you actually pay these guys for being and helping on your show? Yeah, but they don't.
No.
This is
Well,
just.
we work here.
Yeah, they work for the network. They do all kinds of stuff. They write articles for the website. Andy comes and works in the office Monday through Friday and does graphics. So, yeah, they work for Sauce Network. This isn't like I don't pay them for this. This is just like the show, but we do all kinds of stuff.
This is the fun part.
Yeah, this is
like
the fun
the
part.
part.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Sauce like as an actual boss, he just beats us and shit. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
nice.
just daily floggings.
Prop Beavers volunteer, I think, still.
Prop Beaver's an unpaid intern.
Yeah, he volunteers.
So, I have to be on the Zags here. I want to be on St. Mary's. I would love to sit here and tell Toast to fuck off and take St. Mary's, but I think he's right. I think all these guys are right. If you isolate the last month, I don't even know who's the better team. I think it's Gonzaga. And then the revenge, St. Mary's is a little banged up. I saw someone in the comments. I was reading something about that yesterday. I have to go with Gonzaga. I will, mark my words, we will be on this show. We're doing March Madness morning specials all through the tournament. And in this tournament, I will be taking St. Mary's to win and beat Gonzaga in that game. But I think the Zags get him here, and I'm going to bet this one, actually. I'll bet it while we're doing the community parlay, which it's 11:45. We got to do that now. Poll is on the Zags.
They do the double bye, right? The conference tournament? That's so stupid. So both of these teams are going to be in the semifinal already.
Good, as they should.
No, yeah, I guess that
Honestly, just put these two, the Dons, and put
That's essentially what it is.
It's usually the
who would be the fourth?
Everybody else
Santa
has to
Clara?
play like 5 games in a row,
Santa
and then
Clara.
we sit there in Vegas and just wait to play a team.
We just put those 4 in there. It's these two, the Dons and Santa Clara, right?
That's pretty much what it is.
That's all we need to see. All right, so let's get the community parlay rolling. I wish I had all the games. Andy, did you text me all the games that we did?
Yes, I did. It's in the group chat. I could text it to you right now, though, too.
I mean, I could just go find it in the group chat real quick. It's easy for me to have it open when I do the community parlay.
Yep.
All right.
Not good.
No. Here we go. All right, Villanova, Providence. Who they vote in that? They voted Providence. The timing was perfect. 11:46, and we're doing the community parlay. Yeah. Florida, South Carolina, definitely Florida. We were all on Florida. Illinois, Wisconsin. Illinois won that one, I remember. Kansas, Baylor. They're on Baylor. All right, first leg of the community parlay. There was over 1,500 people in there at some point.
Beautiful.
This is crazy.
Yeah, Houston was my favorite, and Tarleton State is my second favorite of the day, in case you guys are wondering.
Oh, we're doing some mid-major
What?
actions.
Tarleton
Texas,
State has been dominating, dude.
They are a good team.
Playing really well. Texas A&M Commerce -1.5 at Houston Christian. I promise you that's the game. It's on VIP. I love Texas A&M Commerce today.
Actually, we
The way you set that up was perfect.
Texas A&M Commerce.
Yep.
What the
That's a
hell?
school. I watched them earlier in the year.
What
play.
is
I
it, a
think
trade
TCU, they got
school?
crushed.
They have a
The
basketball
best
team?
is just listing mid-majors and seeing Kyle's face like, what is going on right now?
No. Texas, they've been playing really well over their last 5 games. They've had 2 overtime losses by a combined 6 points, and the only team they lost to was by Corpus Christi. And if you watch those teams, Corpus Christi is one of their better teams in that conference, if not the best team in that conference. So Houston Christian hasn't won a game since January 27th, which was incarnate word. TMAC was going to roll today.
Doug Light, we do that where they track who wins each poll. We do that. Toast used to write it down, but we haven't. I always make sure I say it out loud. I'll be like, and Providence wins the poll, because then we'll all remember when it comes time. That's the strategy. Oklahoma, Texas. Let's start the new poll.
Yeah, Tarleton's 9-0 against the spread their last 9, and it's a revenge game for them, so they're gonna win.
No, that's Oklahoma State, Texas. My bad.
Yeah.
Oregon, Arizona. Do we want to put Arizona money line in there? It's minus 13.5.
Probably not.
Screw that.
Really.
Let's skip that one.
You're gonna have to skip a game anyway at some point.
Creighton money line. They definitely like Creighton.
Yeah, you want that in there, I would assume.
Penn State, Minnesota. They definitely like Minnesota. That's the minus 6.5. Iowa State. Definitely Iowa State.
Toast, Boise State minus 3.5 versus New Mexico.
I don't know, man. It's a really hard one. New Mexico's such a weird team right now. I don't want to put it past them to have some Herculean performance. So kind of a sleepy spot for Boise State. I don't really love laying points with that team, but not to mention Boise State beat them pretty handily earlier in the year. But I would lean Boise, but it's not confident at all.
Someone asked about the NBA. NBA probably just going to be posted on the site today. Andy's in Georgia. Prop Beaver's not working this weekend. It's just me in the office. And then on top of that, there's only 5 games, and I don't even like any of them. The only game I like was I like the Nuggets, but I'm still waiting on injury report. So I actually don't even have a single NBA bet down right now. This is a college basketball day, honestly. I'll probably post an NBA bet or two on the site later, but there's not enough action for me to put the work in, getting all the graphics ready. It's not worth it today. Plus, I got to get a NASCAR video out. I picked the winner in the last 2 races. I need to put a video out tonight. So got a lot on my plate today. Creighton's in there. So it's Providence and Creighton are the first 2 winners for the community parlay. NC State, North Carolina. I know you guys like North Carolina State. North Carolina probably won that poll though, if I had to guess.
Yeah, almost certain.
Yeah.
But there was definitely a lot of people that voted NC State in that one. Mississippi State, Auburn won. Oh, no. That one was like dead even, wasn't it? I'll put Auburn money line.
Yeah, I think Auburn slightly won that one, you said.
Yeah. Iowa at Northwestern. Northwestern won that poll.
Yeah.
And then Texas A&M, Georgia. Georgia won. Andy was the only one.
I was the only one not to pick them.
The guy wearing the Georgia Bulldogs fleece is the only one that didn't pick Georgia.
This has been the most somebody's worn something and it's been mentioned on this show.
I know.
You guys have said the word. You guys have said the word Georgia fleece like 100 times.
That fleece is infamous now.
No,
Scoop,
yeah.
don't think I'm.
Go
Go ahead, Andy. I was just going to say, are you betting your boys from Cal, or are you coming to the Utah train with me?
I'm on Utah today.
Attaboy.
No,
I was gonna ask.
Kyle does a video. Kyle does a video for Vegas, the NASCAR, and I put a ticket out on the site. The ticket's been 2-0 too, so it's been nice.
Yeah,
we'll see how this goes.
We're off to like the hottest start ever to
gonna
a
say,
NASCAR
Andy?
season.
Like hitting
I was going to
NASCAR,
ask,
man.
do you have anything on our mutual favorite College of Charleston today? Do you think they cover today?
Dude, a lot of people I
Stuff.
respect are taking the points with them. With Hofstra at the 5.5, I just don't see it. So I think that you put Charleston in a money line parlay piece, parlay it with
Makes
Charleston.
sense.
There's no way I'm betting against that team. But it seems like it's a pretty Hofstra's a pretty like Action Network heavy bet. Like
Yeah,
put a couple articles
definitely.
out. I would still bet Charleston.
I think WrestleMania you can only bet offshore accounts.
I would imagine they're not taking action.
How can you even bet that?
I know.
Scripted.
It's so funny, but they have books that have them.
So Cincinnati, Kansas State won that poll.
Dude, I watched this 10-minute documentary on Vince McMahon. What a creep show.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
cow.
he's in some
Holy
trouble
cow.
right now.
I think he's gone now, right?
Well, yeah,
he
he
is.
pooped on somebody's head.
You can't do that nowadays, or
Yeah, when was that illegal? Guys can't have hobbies?
yeah, dude, is that written in any bylaws? Is it
What
in the
are we doing?
Constitution?
What are we doing?
Everyone got so sensitive.
I guess you can't do that nowadays.
You
Thanks, Biden.
you can't take shits on people's faces anymore.
We used to be a proper country. Jesus.
Good Lord, get some help.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Toast is so serious too, and we just
I
immediately
was serious.
crushed to that.
I didn't know what the hell was going
No,
on.
someone
I was with my wife.
someone did ask for WrestleMania picks in the comments. He didn't just make.
Oh,
Someone
really?
asked for it.
Yeah,
You're
I think
100%
Stone
right,
Cold-
though.
I think
So
Stone
true.
Cold's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
The Rock's gonna win.
Stone Cold. You know, like if you think he's being sarcastic with The Rock, no, I saw on Instagram The Rock is actually wrestling.
The Rock's back.
Oh, is he on again? He's
A
Oh
dead
my
ass.
God.
Dead
Yes.
ass.
You gotta be
My
kidding
brother
me.
still
He's
watches
back.
it.
He can
He's
probably do shit.
Does he still do the? Do you smell what the? Rock
Yes.
is
Oh my god,
yes,
bro.
he did it the other day.
Okay,
Comes up
Dude,
on my
that was like
TikTok.
when I was in middle school. Like this
It's
is.
a brony.
He lost a lot of money on Black Adam. Now he's got to get his name back.
WrestleMania. He was wrestling at like a 50-year-old last year.
The Rock lost money on Black Adam. Did he personally finance it? Or
Dude, he
just make it-
financed like half. No, he financed a ton of it. And it
Did he
it
really?
bombed. He financed like I think half the
I mean, he
budget.
has a
The
ton of
budget
money.
was him. He's still a
Speaking of
billionaire.
the USL's
No, but
starting
those
again.
those movie budgets are serious shit. Like,
It was like $200 million budget and it bombed.
damn, I didn't know that. All right, so Toast, or anyone who's got a sports book open, it's Providence, Creighton, Auburn, Houston.
Houston is the last.
I'm gonna
one
say
to
plus
add.
388.
Dude, all superhero movies suck now though. They used to be all right. Now they're just miserable.
Plus
Dune 2 yesterday.
284.
Ooh, I'm off.
284.
Okay,
Ew.
so wow, perfect timing. It's 11:54. Tip off in 6 minutes. So community parlay. Providence moneyline, Creighton moneyline, Auburn moneyline, Houston moneyline. Thanks everyone for watching. We're doing March Madness morning specials through the whole month when there's March Madness. When there's conference tournaments on, we'll be live at 11 a.m. So it will maybe the bigger days we'll do 10:30. I'll let you know, but we'll be live in the morning before the tournaments start. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Well, we're obviously gonna make against the spread picks.
Yeah, like first round A Suns we're probably not gonna do, but like
I don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
want to. But we'll figure it out. We'll probably do some kind of bracket challenge thing too. But everyone, thanks for watching.
those.
Let's have ourselves a great day. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be in the Discord in a little bit. Later.
Have fun, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you.